and welcome to Football's Play to Win, the fastest 45 minutes on TV.
Today's show is being brought to you by Ford, Mellow Mushroom, and Georgia Lottery. Today's Hometown Team Report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
Good morning, and more importantly, Happy New Year. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today while we talk some Falcons, dogs, and all the stuff going on with football, because, of course, we can't lollygag anymore. It's playoff time. D-Day is right around the corner for the Falcons and the dogs, and I'm joined now with Chuck Smith, Jamal Anderson, Big Bob Whitfield, and, of course, our expert pick'ems guy, Jeffrey The Edge Schechter. Guys, let's dive right in, but first, I want to show Jamal some love, because you know what? His alma mater, Utah, 11-1 in bowl games under Kyle Whittingham.
No, it's good. It's good to win a bowl game. It was a very, very tough and frustrating season for us, but it's very nice to win and come out on top. So congratulations, go Utes.
You wouldn't want to
7 and 6, huh? 7 and 6.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Get
saying.
out of here with the
Hey,
Utes.
it is what it is. You play the games
Dynasty
on
to
the
make it.
schedule.
Dynasty to make it.
You
Watch
watch
out, Alabama.
Well, they shut down Greer. Oh, wait, he didn't play. I'm sorry.
Well, fine and fine. What about UGA, Chuck? Is this the biggest game, the Rose Bowl, for the dogs since the 80s?
Yeah, I think it's big because, number one, now everybody gets to see the dogs. National media, national folks from the West Coast to East Coast, and what it does is puts Georgia on the platform. And when people think of Georgia, let's be real, they think of Herschel Walker. I mean, think about how many times we see Herschel this, Herschel that, Herschel this. But now Georgia's stepping out of that 1980 championship, thought process, and this is a team that's a team to be reckoned with. And I think Georgia, clearly, they're out of the shadows of the 80s.
This is where people thought the Bulldog program should be. I mean, and
Right.
we've talked about it on shows before. Look at the number of players that the University of Georgia's put into the pro ranks, and then you look back on it and you go, where's the hardware for that? This is the natural expectation for a team and the guys, the quality of athlete that they bring in, UGA.
They're in the Final Four, and no matter what happens this week, they will be preseason #1 next year because they're bringing in a ton. They'll be loaded.
75 years since their last Rose Bowl. Now let's move over to the other hometown team, the Falcons. Bob, do you think that if the Falcons lose, that the whole season's just a failure?
Well, Nikki, it's a strange game, and the only winning move is not to play. What movie is that from, Chuck? It's war games out here, and the Falcons are in a war game right here because if they win again, then we're back in a promised land of fairy tale dreams in the Super Bowl. And if they lose, oh my stars, everybody's getting fired.
Yeah.
Everybody. Well, not the head coach, but Sarkisian's out if they lose.
No.
I don't know if any of that stuff is going to happen, but
Conspiracy.
all right.
Where did Thomas Dimitrov come from?
They were very ugly 9-6.
Thomas Dimitrov came from New England. He can go back to the well with Josh McDaniels. He can go right back to the well with Josh McDaniels to bring him down the Falcons and make Tom Brady look like, you know who I'm talking about. Tom Brady and Matt Ryan could be synonymous champions.
What? All right, let me just cool out real quick, Playboy. Let me just put it like this. If the Falcons don't win this game, no question it's going to be one of the biggest disappointments because last year the expectations were so high. But at the end of the day, it's still a team that's building. It's still a team that's ascending. Sometimes you get knocked back. Sometimes you get setbacks. But the key is, no matter what, you want to put your best foot forward. But if they don't win, there's no question.
Building what? This is a Super Bowl team. But you don't build for that. You just keep winning.
It would be a very disappointing season,
question.
especially what happened last
NFC
year.
champs. The truth of the matter is, the only game they really looked good this year was a Green Bay game.
Yeah.
And I can name games they could have lost right down the road.
Well, to go from the Super Bowl and to not make the playoffs the very next season, in any way you slice it as a
Mind
disappointing
you yourself,
year.
don't it?
I got hurt.
I'm going to say, just on a positive note, that I'm proud of Atlanta right now. With the Bulldogs and the Falcons, we are looking pretty good. We're going to check in with the rest of the NFL and see what's going on. Stick with us on Football's Play to Win.
You never know when the moment will strike. And when it does, you want to be ready. Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails can help you enjoy a more satisfying eating experience. Mellow Mushroom is safe for daily use. If you find yourself sitting in a Mellow Mushroom for more than 4 hours, you may want to go home and come back another day. Mellow Mushroom is not for everyone. Just kidding, it is. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. He may want to come with you.
Hurry, it's the final days of the Ford year-end sales event. It's your last chance of the year to get our best offer of the year. 0% financing for 72 months, plus up to $2,000 final days bonus cash on select 2017 vehicles. So hurry and save big on America's best-selling brand. It's the final days of the Ford year-end sales event with 0 for 72 plus up to $2,000 final days bonus cash on select 2017 vehicles. See your Ford dealer before January 2nd and save.
Today's NFL Report is brought to you by Nellie Ford Sandy Springs. The car you want, the name you trust. It has to be Nellie Ford Sandy Springs.
Welcome back to football's Play to Win. It's time to dive right into the NFL as we approach the playoffs. Shh, do you like that splash?
Yeah,
we got kind of a weird move with the Patriots signing a one-year deal for James Harrison, 39-year-old linebacker. Do you see any strategy in this, Chuck?
Yeah, I see a lot of strategy. People keep saying this about, the Patriots getting an advantage on the Steelers. The bottom line is the reason why the Steelers are so mad because James Harrison can still play. James Harrison's in one-on-ones, whooping people's butt. I got some folks up there that say that's the reason why all those guys are a little salty, because they don't want to face the big goon. He's a goon and he's a thug on the field, and I'm telling you right now, remember I said this, James Harrison's going to be a huge factor for the Patriots moving forward.
Well, I heard he was a thug in the locker room. He wasn't too much help to those young guys for that defense of Pittsburgh. So basically, a chemistry thing may have been his reason that he needed to go, but he does get an opportunity to revive himself, I say.
He didn't get no snaps.
He didn't get any.
Bob, he didn't get no playing time.
No, when you're not getting a lot of playing time, obviously there's some other things that were going on in Pittsburgh that we're now hearing about from the young linebackers. But it's such a Belichick move. I mean, when you knew James Harrison got released, you knew that the New England Patriots were going to go right after him. And then you look at him now; he's fresh, playoffs, and now with all this new animosity.
My thing is, you come out and start hating on the man now that he's gone. The facts remain: the Pittsburgh Steelers got what, one good outside rusher. Little Watt. But where are the other guys at? Let's call a spade now. So everybody want to come out and talk smack about this guy. James Harrison probably is the second best outside rusher the Steelers had. It is what it is, but now everybody want to hate. All of a sudden, you got them closet haters coming out.
Hopefully,
I don't like it.
Hopefully we get the matchup.
I'm a front lawn hater. I just come to your front lawn and hate on you.
You don't think anybody is looking at this like maybe Belichick was trying to get some Steelers intel?
Well, he should know. He should know the team by now.
Yeah, they play
How many times you play,
Yeah.
you know that team.
Yeah.
And what you get is
Right.
you get James Harrison, who's hungry, who wants to come in and get those snaps that he missed all year. So being out of the lineup all those games and now to come in on your last leg, this might be your last season, and you're with a playoff contender.
And he mad.
Woo!
Andy Matt. Hey, Bob.
Nothing like vengeance.
Bob, I want to talk to you about starters as we approach the playoffs. For these teams that are locked in at number one seed, are you starting everybody? Are you sitting them? What are you doing?
Well, it's one of those conversations a player should have with his coach. Hey, coach, buddy, I need these starters because I need that contract money to come in.
Amen.
I got incentives.
Amen.
But if you don't have incentives tied into it, you be like, coach, I'll take that tap out. We got to buy. Come on, let's chill. And you see a lot more coaches doing that. So what you have is the league moving games around and say, stay competitive.
Yeah.
If we don't move these games around, teams will sit their starters, they'll sit the water boy, they'll sit the trainer. So what you have is teams like Carolina, we need all those, guys to play so it's a competitive game throughout.
Think about
Last
this.
Last year, Tomlin he sat his starters for the last game. The Rams are going to be sitting. Goff's not going to play. I don't think Gurley's going to be playing.
No, Gurley and Goff are definitely not going to play. But they got a perfect example. All they got to do is look up north. The Raiders were in a fantastic situation last year. David Carr was literally playing in a garbage game where they were blowing the team out. He gets hurt. The Raiders' season goes down the drain in one playoff game. So guys are thinking about this, especially when you look at all the stars that we lost this year. Well, random injuries. We got a bevy of guys, talented NFL players who are out this year. So if you are already in the playoffs and there's not a lot on the line, you have to take a hard look at, hey, you need your players for when it actually counts.
Then when you sit them out, they still lose in the first round.
Well,
New word, bevy.
Bevy. You know what? Jeffrey has got a bevy of picks for us, Jeffrey.
Well, we got two picks right here. Tampa's been playing good. Maybe they're trying to save the coach's job. They've been hanging in. They're a 7.5-point underdog. I like them against New Orleans this week. And I just think Seattle at home is Arians' last game. I happen to like Arians, but I think Seattle's going to kill them.
Arians will no doubt have some choice words. Guys, stick with us when we come back. We've got our Fantasy Football Awards. Don't go anywhere. Football's Play to Win. We'll be right back.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
During the year-end sales event at Nally Ford, get 0% APR for 72 months, plus $1,000 in Ford credit bonus cash on select 2017 models.
Hey y'all, we're Low Cash and we love Nally Ford and NallyFord.com. It has to be Nally Ford, Sandy Springs.
Look what God has done. Thank you. Because of your support, we've grown to locations all over Atlanta. This is the time of year where we all take time to give thanks and to celebrate with family and friends. May God richly bless you and your family is our prayer. Thank you and happy holidays! See you soon!
Automatic emergency braking.
It stopped for you.
Standard on Nissan's most popular models. Hurry, the 2017s are almost gone. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,260 on select models. See Star Wars The Last Jedi now playing.
Today's NFL Fantasy Report is being brought to you by Haviland Express Lube, driven to perform, so our customers and their vehicles can too.
Welcome back, y'all. My name is Chuck Smith, along with Uptown, or maybe call him Downtown. How about we just call you Buckhead, Adam Brown, fantasy guru, legend. Let's talk about fantasy football, Adam. A lot of owners were disappointed by the ending of the fantasy season. Let's talk about the biggest disappointments.
The biggest disappointments this year, in my opinion, 3 of them. Jay Ajayi, who only had 2 100-yard rushing games this season. He was started in Miami, got traded to Philadelphia, shared carries with Blount. Then we have Amari Cooper, who led the NFL in drops. And then Julio Jones. Yeah, I said Julio Jones, guys. The reason for Julio Jones being a disappointment, only 3 touchdowns, Chuck.
And let's talk about the next phase of fantasy football. A lot of surprises this year in fantasy. Give me a couple guys that really stood out.
Adam Thielen for the Minnesota Vikings really stood out for me. He balled out. Yeah, Stephon Diggs on the other side, losing a quarterback in Keenum, and had Case Keenum as his quarterback. I really balled out hard. I like Robbie Anderson for the Jets with Ryan Fitzpatrick as his quarterback this year, and I also like Juju Smith-Schuster. I liked him a lot. Antonio Brown was out a couple times. Juju Smith-Schuster stood out.
Now, a lot of rookies stepped up big this year. It was the year of the rookie.
Yeah, the rookie running back.
The rookie running back. Talk about those running backs.
All right.
Who stepped up?
Kareem Hunt. Massive season.
Balled out.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's one of the biggest surprises in all of fantasy football.
All fantasy football, and could be in the conversation for fantasy MVP with what he did the first half of the season. Slowed down a little bit in the second half, but really in the first half, balled out hard. Now you also got Alvin Kamara, could run the ball and catch the ball.
Love him.
Loved him this year. And then Christian McCaffrey, who you were down on, who I loved.
I'm still down on him.
Still has
Especially this weekend, I'm down on him against the Falcons. But
I agree. I agree. But he can run the ball and catch the ball and has over 1,000 yards from scrimmage this season. And a bunch of touchdowns.
All right, now the big kahuna. Let's talk about the fantasy MVP. Give me the Adam Brown Fantasy Football Player of the Year. Who's your guy?
Todd Gurley, hands down. Wrap it up. Todd Gurley is the man. What he has done this season to propel the Rams and Jared Goff, the second-year quarterback, unbelievable. Go Dogs, go Gurley.
Well, you got the Adam Brown Awards, and for Adam Brown, I'm Chuck Smith. More in a moment.
Who do you trust to change your oil? I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. This is really my car, and Haviland Express Lube is who I truly trust. They're professional, priced to beat the competition, and really, really fast.
Hey football fans, don't take chances by driving with worn-out wiper blades. Pull into Haviland Express Lube Monday through Thursday, mention football's play to win, and get a free pair of wiper blades with the purchase of an oil change.
To see our real research and find the location nearest you, visit trustdale.com/Haviland.
If you or a loved one has been seriously injured in an accident, don't drop the ball by letting the insurance company run all over you. I worked as an insurance lawyer for 10 years and I know their tactics and game plan. I'm Roger Orlando of the Orlando firm. Let our 30 years of experience tackle the insurance company for you. Our team will get you every dollar you deserve. So put the ball in our hands and we'll get your case across the goal line. Find us online at atlanta.law or call 678-LAW-FIRM.
Welcome back to the fastest 45 minutes in television. Today on Football's Play to Win, we'll examine the Falcons and Bulldogs' big games and their hopes of extending their seasons. We'll also preview the Alabama-Clemson game, round 3, and get the Edge's weekly picks. That's all next on Football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue, Haviland Express Lube, and Nellie Ford Sandy Springs. Welcome to Football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Fantasy Football League Master Adam Brown, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, Medical and Injury Update with Dr. Andrew Lalage, and your host, Nikki Williams. Today's Atlanta Falcons Report is brought to you by Ford F-150, the official truck of the NFL.
Welcome back to Football's Play to Win. Guys, the time is here. It's do or die for the Falcons. I think we've been saying this for how many weeks now, but do we see any spark left in the Falcons, Bob?
Well, you know what? On HD, with the HD cameras, when you cry on the sideline, the tears seem to glitter. That's all the spark I saw out of Devontae Freeman was he looked sad after that fumble. And the defense never wilted. So what happens is the offense needs that defense to perform very well this week against Carolina because I think the offense are not too confident in what they can do right now.
I mean, listen, you get a chance to play in the playoffs and you're 9-5. Let's go back a week. The two teams that you get to face the final two games to make it to the playoffs and, in fact, maybe have a chance at the division are your two rivals, how could you not have a spark? This is exactly what you play for. If there are two teams that anybody on the roster that you could pick for the Falcons to play to finish your season, it is the Saints and the Panthers. And here we are, one game to win to get into the playoffs. You don't have a spark? It's over.
They were totally flat last week.
That's what it was, a hit in the mouth.
Yeah.
Boom. Fumble on the goal line stand. I mean, the offense looked terrible. They scored a meaningless touchdown at the end.
But you got a shot, Nick. I mean, what else can you ask for? You're at home. You got your home crowd in front. You're going against a rival. They got a shot. That's all you can really ask for.
What is it, a puncher's chance?
No, I don't think they got a puncher's chance. I think if they play ball, convert on third downs, that's going to be the biggest thing here. It's going to be a game of inches, Nikki, and that's meaning that they're going to be played in the trenches. The offensive line has to do a better job. But I think the Falcons have more than a puncher's chance. They just got to play their best game, but they got to play a game that gives them a chance to win. That's having no turnovers.
Cam Newton versus Matt Ryan.
Oh, night and day. I mean, you look at what we did. Matt Ryan coming off an MVP season. I mean, 38 TDs, 7 interceptions this year. It's a far cry different. Obviously, you got new offensive coordinator Sarkisian. Everybody wants to put the blame on this person, that person. There have been injuries. There's been inconsistency. There have been more turnovers. And Cam Newton is having an awesome season. If you're looking at one person to say the key for the Carolina Panthers winning 7 of 8 games, it's been Cam Newton.
Absolutely.
He's 150 yards short of the Falcons' leading rusher. I mean, he's got 600 plus yards rushing. He's got 20-something hundred yards passing, 22 TDs. He's not turning the ball over. He's really leading these guys, and it's going to be huge to slow Cam down in addition to that running attack if the Falcons want to win.
But he's protected by a defense now.
Oh, no doubt.
You understand what I'm saying,
No
Jan?
question.
So to me, it helps Cam when you got a great defense that you can make some mistakes. This defense has carried Carolina all year. Cam really started slow, and now he's starting to pick up more steam. But let's be real now. Cam not really throwing the ball with efficiency. He's running the ball. Their running game as well. They're throwing short passes across the board. But to me, it's been the defense's ability to make stops and get the ball over to Cam and get him more possessions.
And that defense is getting stronger because Charles Johnson is coming back from a suspension.
Thomas Davis,
middle linebackers coming back. And then anybody saw Manti Te'o from the Saints blow up Alex Mack.
It's Manti Ray Lewis. That we gave him the name.
Oh, look, new Manti Lewis. You're right. Because
it made him look like Ray Lewis.
So, you going against, like you said, that line having to block, and now you bringing back a Thomas Davis, a Charles Johnson, and then the old man, Julius Peppers. He's wrecking havoc.
Right. Yes,
so, I mean, this is a tough game for the Falcons either way, but then to have the pressure that your whole season win or loss is based on this, wow.
Let's go back to the first time in Carolina. The Falcons had a 10-0 lead, and it looked like that thing was going to get carried away. You have an inexplicable drop by Julio, and some other things happen. All of a sudden, they lose that type of game. The Falcons are going to come out, be aggressive, and you can't third downs, turnovers, all of those things. But make sure you stay in this thing. The bottom line is because they got carried away physically from them last week, and that was probably the most disappointing thing.
You know what, though, too, real quick, Bob, and you've been there as an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, there's something to be said about when you go into a game where you know you can beat a cat up. I mean, if I'm the Falcons, they're going to have to come out with, like, a slugfest mentality because, like, when I played against teams that I felt more confident against and felt like I could bully them, I'm going to bully them. So if I'm Carolina, I'm feeling like I can come in there against Atlanta and do what I got to do. So the Falcons going to have to weather the storm, but they're going to have to throw some punches. They're backed up against the wall, and my mind frame is this. If you're a Falcon, you're backed up against the wall, come out swinging.
Exactly.
Come out swinging. That's what they're going to have to do.
That's the key. You beat them up because if they're ahead of them, Rivera's going to pull guys.
Jeffrey, how about your picks?
I'm going to go with Atlanta. The key to the game is get ahead of them, beat them up a little, give the 4 with Atlanta.
I love when I agree with you, Jeffrey, because then I don't have to deal with that during the commercial break. Guys, when we come back, can the Dogs make it to the Natty? We'll break it down. Stick with us on Football's Play to Win.
Hurry, it's the final days of the Ford year-end sales event. It's your last chance of the year to get our best offer of the year. 0% financing for 72 months, plus up to $2,000 final days bonus cash on select 2017 vehicles. So hurry and save big on America's best-selling brand. It's the final days of the Ford year-end sales event with 0 for 72 plus up to $2,000 final days bonus cash on select 2017 vehicles. See your Ford dealer before January 2nd and save.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they did, they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
Why can't I have a slice of yours?
You're a cartoon. You can only have cartoon pizza.
It's not fair.
Look, this pie is 100% real, and you're colored ink. It's physics, man.
Well, can you buy me a beer?
I can buy you a cartoon beer. Are you single?
It's right.
Everyone wants real mellow mushroom pizza because our pies use premium meats and cheeses, fresh veggies, and spring water dough baked with wheat goodness. Mellow mushroom, a higher order of pizza.
Automatic emergency braking.
It stopped for you.
Standard on Nissan's most popular models. Hurry, the 2017s are almost gone. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,260 on select models. See Star Wars The Last Jedi now playing.
Today's University of Georgia Report is being brought to you by This Is It, Barbecue and Seafood, home of Atlanta's original rib tips.
Welcome back, and a quick reminder for all of you to go to the Play to Win website and enter the Ippolito's You Be the Expert contest. This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be #1 against all the competition by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $100 and $50 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners. So make sure you come back every week and prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting this week's college and NFL games. Ippolito's, a great neighborhood Italian restaurant. Now, Georgia, Oklahoma's winner will face the winner of Alabama-Clemson Part 3 for the national championship. So let's dive into this Oklahoma-UGA game. Let's talk about some of the keys to this. Bob Whitfield, let's start off with just elite, and let's look at some of these stats over here. Strength versus strength. This is the Oklahoma offense versus the UGA defense.
And what you see is, what you have Baker Mayfield, Heisman winner, who was the catalyst for that offensive matchup, and Georgia's defense, as I say, they got players. They got Bellamy, they got Roquan Smith. They got players that can change the game at any time. And what you have with Kirby, he's the elite coach. Kirby Smart is the elite coach that's been there, done that with Alabama. He knows how to keep the guys focused because they've been going to Disneyland. They've been doing all this shenanigans for these games to build up, but they still have to play the game. The skill can get them focused, and Georgia can balance all of that hype with Mayfield with the elite performance from Fromm and that defense shutting them down.
If you look about Georgia, the one game that kind of got away from them was that game about a month ago in Auburn. Auburn physically took it to them. They really turned that around in the second game, obviously dominating SEC championship, and they got one of the best, maybe the best group of running backs in the nation. Obviously, Sonny Michel and Nick Chubb combined for over 2,300 yards. They got 26 touchdowns. But DeAndre Swift, the third running back, has got like 600 yards, averaging 8.2 a carry. So Georgia, that offensive line has been much more physical. And again, that was a test for me. What was going to happen in a SEC championship game, because Auburn was very physical with them. Can Oklahoma keep up with that Georgia ground attack and how physical these guys are going to need to be to win?
It's a great matchup. It's a passing team that can run, Oklahoma, against a running team that could pass, Georgia.
What about Baker Mayfield, Heisman winner, most unimaginable rise in college football history? How much, and Bob was talking about the distraction earlier too, of just being in LA. What are we working with Baker Mayfield when it comes to Fromm? How much trouble is he going to give them?
Well, the kid's a lightning rod. I mean, that Baker Mayfield, he's fantastic. But let me tell you one thing that's going to happen for Georgia. The back end's got to match up. Oklahoma comes with multiple sets, 3 wides, 2 wides. They'll come also in some bunch looks. So one of the keys for Georgia is going to be matching their formations, because what I like about Oklahoma is that they spread it out, and they really know how to spread it out. They can run and they can throw, because a lot of teams, they play spread football, but they can't really throw the ball. But this Oklahoma team adds a different dynamics to the game, and Georgia's going to have to match up in the secondary, make sure they got the right guys on the field, because Oklahoma's going to throw a lot at them early.
I say it like this, Chuck. Mayfield overcomes his height problem with a big mouth and an even bigger arm.
A lot of talent, and obviously he's the leader of that Oklahoma defense. Here's the thing. Last year, Stoops did a good job in that Oklahoma defense shutting down Kerryon Johnson. We're not talking about one running back. We're talking about a trio, so it's going to be interesting.
Let's take a look at another graphic here. Oklahoma's defense versus Georgia's offense. Nationally, check out some of these numbers. Again, back to this whole strength versus strength theme.
That rushing attack, that's what you're looking at, the rushing yards per game, and what Oklahoma defense has given up, 144 yards. That might be Nick Chubb's amount he gets, Then you have to put in, Sonny Michel, he's going to get 144. And then you add who we got? Holyfield. We got, what's the other kids?
Right. DeAndre
Swift. Hell, they're going to end up with 600 yards rushing, and that's what you're going to look at when Oklahoma, can they stop the run?
And I agree with you, Bob, but one of the things, Jam, I really think that's going to happen. I think Georgia's going to have to throw the ball. I think it's going to come down to Fromm. Yeah. For some reason, I feel like Oklahoma's going to put up a big number. I like Georgia, and I like what they bring to the table, but it takes me back to Auburn. Let's go back. Auburn ended up throwing quick passes, screens, draws to Kerryon, right? So what Auburn did is they did a lot of things that Oklahoma can do, but I think Oklahoma's way more polished at that spread offense, and I think the Auburn first game is the blueprint for Oklahoma going against Georgia.
Remember this, Georgia hasn't seen a quarterback anywhere near.
No.
If you add up all the quarterbacks they played against this year and put them together, maybe they're almost as good as Mayfield.
There were a lot of questions about Oklahoma when they went to play Ohio State, and they handled business.
Right.
Not only physically,
Right.
you saw the talent level on that football team. Please believe that they're going to come play.
Ohio State didn't score in the second half. So.
Well, let's check in with our friends over at 680 The Fan. Former UGA quarterback Hudson Mason weighs in.
Hey, this is Hudson Mason, former Georgia quarterback, and I'm going to give you the 3 keys to success for a Georgia win in Pasadena, California. Number 1 is you got to contain Baker Mayfield. He is one of the best in the country at getting outside the pocket and creating and generating explosive plays. So if you're Davin Bellamy, Lorenzo Carter, all these guys, you've got to collapse the pocket and make sure, especially in that secondary, when he gets outside of the pocket, that you continue to stick with your man. Number 2, ground and pound. You got one of the best rushing games in all of country. Stick to the blueprint to what's gotten you here this year. Nick Chubb, Sonny Michel, Swift, continue to play ground and pound football and run power football, especially against a Big 12 offense that is not used to seeing a team like this. And number 3 is your young quarterback, Jake Fromm. Continue to take care of the football. He's done a great job of throwing touchdowns, but limiting his interceptions and turnover ratio. In a big game like this, you've got a phenomenal supporting cast. Take care of the football, and the Dogs should pull it out.
Well, Jeffrey, pick the game.
Well, this game
carefully.
Well, I better duck. This game started out, Oklahoma was a 3-point favorite. Now Georgia's a 2-point favorite. I picked Oklahoma at the beginning of the year to go all the way.
Terrible.
I'm staying with them. I'm going to be on the side of the house. Take the points with the Sooners. I'm sorry.
Are you sure about that?
I kind of see it the same way, Nikki.
You know what? We need to go to a break because I've got some business to take care of over here. Stick with us when we come back. It's the SEC-ACC report on football's play to win.
This is it.
Make your holiday easy and delicious with This Is It Barbecue and Seafood. Place your online order today from our special holiday menu featuring delicious smoked or fried turkey, smoked spiral cut ham, sides like cornbread dressing, collard greens, and baked mac and cheese, desserts like sweet potato pie, assorted cakes, and strawberry shortcake. And add our delicious fresh brewed drinks to complete your order. The discounted holiday packages are the best. Go online to thisisitbbq.com to see the full menu and to place your online order.
People of all ages suffer from orthopedic conditions that limit daily activities. If you're not getting significant relief from other options or you've considered surgery, LipoGems might be right for you. The LipoGems procedure is a cutting-edge award-winning technology that helps your body heal itself the natural way by using your own powerful fat. This simple and minimally invasive procedure might be the answer you're looking for. For more information or to find a participating physician, visit understandlipogems.com.
Who do you trust to change your oil? I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. This is really my car, and Haviland Express Lube is who I truly trust. They're professional, priced to beat the competition, and really, really fast.
Hey football fans, don't take chances by driving with worn out wiper blades. Pull into Haviland Express Loop Monday through Thursday, mention football's play to win, and get a free pair of wiper blades with the purchase of an oil change.
To see our real research and find the location nearest you, visit trustdale.com/Haviland.
Today's SEC College Report is being brought to you by the Southeast Nissan dealers. Choose Nissan.com.
Welcome back to football's play to win. It's bowl season, which means it's like Christmas Day every day for me. Jamal, let's talk about the Peach Bowl right here in Atlanta, Auburn and UCF.
Number 10 versus number 7. We were talking about Auburn earlier, and guess who's going to be back in the lineup and healthy? Kerryon Johnson is going to be back. The SEC Offensive Player of the Year, who is a huge factor in Auburn's offense. Listen, UCF is a talented group. You don't get to 12-0 because you can't play football, but the 95th ranked defense is going to be interesting to see what happens with Auburn. UCF scores a lot of points, and that is going to be the challenge for this Auburn defense, is keeping up with the multiple sets and the times and the movements and things that UCF can do. And if this thing gets out of hand, this is a team that's accustomed to playing in huge scored games. So they're not going anywhere. They're going to just keep trying to keep up with you by scoring points.
But when you look at UCF, look at the storyline. Scott Frost gets a job at Nebraska, a magical season. You get to play against a big boy. You know, it's like the David and Goliath kind of story, really. But to me, this would be a huge win when you think of UCF. And I think Auburn, when you go from being in the Rose Bowl, it's nothing against the Peach Bowl, but for them, it's a big transition.
It's a championship game to them.
Yeah, it really
if they go 13-0, there's nothing you can say about that.
Yeah, and Scott Frost is staying to coach them just for this occasion and in this game.
Way to stand up. I like that.
Oh, way to stand up. He recruited guys for 4 years, and now he's bailed into Nebraska. That's the way you stand up, and this is why guys like Josh Rosen and other guys that you've seen, Christian McCaffrey, do not play in bowl games because coaches are out for themselves. They're looking for their own new contract somewhere else, and they recruited kids for 4 years, and they're leaving in 3. Thank you, Scott Frost. You just proved it. Josh Rosen, other quarterbacks, other running backs, don't play that bowl game unless it's for a national championship.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery, where every jackpot is a good jackpot.
Well, Bob, do you have any conspiracy theories on Auburn, Clemson, Alabama, Part 3? What is going to be different this year?
Suge Knight, a.k.a. Bob Whitfield, he got all kind of...
You know I got
the... He got a goon, he got a little bit of Scarface in the day. He got a little of everything. Go ahead, Bob.
And what the theory is that you have, like I said,
here we go.
The 2 worst quarterbacks remaining alive in college football. These are the guys that have to use their legs to get their team to advance. So Kelly Bryant, to me, has the best legs. He can run faster than, Jalen Hurts, and he's going to really have to rely on that because that Alabama defense is going to be after his, little tiny self. He's got a scrambling move. But I say the best quarterback in this matchup, whoever can deliver to the receivers, is going to prevail.
So they're running next to each other. You said he's faster than Jalen Hurts. What, they running like next to in a 40-yard dash or something? I'm like, the quarterbacks aren't going against each other. And I think the one advantage that Bryant does have, he's got a lot of weapons around him that are, I just say, guys that not many people know about. But the thing that he has as far as Clemson, he's got a defense. Clemson got 4 dudes on the D-line right now that are NFL ready. But I think Alabama, they're getting healthy again. I think Hurts clearly is one of the best talents in football that's underrated, Jam. But I think
you ever watch
to
him
me,
read?
this is a push game.
Have you ever watched Jalen Hurts read the defense? Have you ever seen him go off of any but the first read? He's a first read and run type of quarterback. So he does not pose a critical matchup for any defense because you only got one chance with him.
Kelly Bryant? Are we talking about Kelly Bryant?
Both of them are one-read guys.
Mayfield. You act like
John
Elway.
I act like you have running quarterbacks. Do you like a running quarterback? Do you like a passing quarterback? Baker Mayfield is a passing quarterback. And
Brian
what you have these other guys are runners who I think can't handle throwing the ball down the field.
Jam, give him some
The
information.
key to me for Auburn is Jalen Hurts is a talented player, no question about it. But Damian Harris and those running backs have to be a big factor. It seems to me when Alabama is too focused on running that offense through Hurts, they have some issues. And to me, you got to use Damian Harris and Scarborough. They got a bunch of talents and running backs there. But as Chuck said earlier, Alabama, usually overpowers people, but guess what? Clemson does, in fact, have 4 defensive linemen who will be playing on Sunday, so that is going to be the battle.
Hurts
that battle
can't
in
throw,
the trenches.
Hurts can't throw. Let's be real, man. I mean,
you just said he's one of the best talents in football.
Well,
now he can't throw.
I didn't say
get out of here.
I'm dealing with over here. Jeffrey,
you know what I'm saying.
Put a bow on it. Let's get your picks.
Put a bow on it. Alabama's the 4th seed, but guess what? They're the favorite to win the whole tournament. They're a 3-point favorite. I mean, this has become a great rivalry, these two teams. I just like Bama. Give them 3 points.
I just don't like you today right now very much.
I'm telling you,
Jeffrey.
that's going to be
I'm disagreeing with him.
lot
It's
of
fine.
people
I'm
don't
not
like
the expert. He's the expert, guys. Stick with us. When we come back, it's our injury report. You're watching Football's Play to Win.
Automatic emergency braking.
It stopped for you.
Standard on Nissan's most popular models. Hurry, the 2017s are almost gone. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,260 on select models. See Star Wars The Last Jedi now playing.
Do you suffer from irritability, boredom, and chronic cravings? Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails are clinically proven to improve your mood and leave you with a full belly. Mellow Mushroom is fast-acting, giving you relief when you need it the most. Side effects of Mellow Mushroom may include salivation, euphoria, and an insatiable craving for more Mellow Mushroom. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. She may want to come with you.
X. X is that unknown factor. X is provocative. X is where you find the shiny stuff. X is love, and lust, and power, and pomp. This is the X side of infinity. Lease the Infinity QX80 for $739 a month, or finance at 1.9% APR at your Atlanta area Infinity retailer.
Today's player injury and medical report is being brought to you by the Orlando Law Firm. Put a former insurance lawyer in your corner.
Welcome back to Football's Play to Win. I'm here now with Dr. Anand Lalaji with Inside Injuries. Dr. Lalaji, you're going to take us around some of the more significant injuries around the league.
And Nikki, it's playoff time, right? So players are going to be playing through injuries. So let's get started. Let's talk about Antonio Brown. Grade 3 partial calf tear in week 15. Good thing for Vise because he has 4 weeks of rest. He should be back into low injury risk. He's high now, but he's going to rest for 3 more weeks and he'll be okay. Let's talk about DeMarco Murray. I don't know why this guy would play except for the fact that his team needs to make the playoffs and he's going to try to do everything to get into the game, but on a grade 3 MCL tear, he should not be playing. Melvin Gordon. High injury risk as well with a grade 1 ankle sprain. He had foot, knee, and shoulder injuries this year. He needs 2 weeks to heal, but he will still remain at high injury risk if he does play in this game. And finally, Samaje Perine. He's a young kid, so even with all of the injuries, he's still only at 13% injury risk, right on the cusp of low injury risk. However, he's an elevated injury risk for this game, and he is a risky start.
My goodness. Well, now we're joined by Dr. E, and he's got his knee. It's Dr. E with his knee. Guys, break this down for those of us that have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, the grade 3 MCL that DeMarco Murray has, right? He's going to play. So what are his
Absolutely.
risks?
Let's start by first talking about what is a MCL injury. The MCL is the ligament that's on the inside of the knee. That's right here, as you can see. And what that does is that prevents the knee from opening up. So when he runs and he cuts and he tries to move with a grade 3 injury, which means he has a complete tear of this, he's going to have some instability. So, you know, a lot of times with a grade 3 injuries, people will actually rest and brace and may need surgery. So it's going to be very interesting to see if he can really get back.
And with the speed of the game, right, at any particular moment, if he gets hit in a particular way, he could further worsen that injury, correct?
Absolutely. Not only that, he can actually have what they call he can actually subluxate or dislocate the knee in such a way which could cause some serious injuries from long term.
So do you think that it'll reflect his and affect his career, risk his career if he does tear it potentially with his age and everything like that?
Absolutely, yes. And the literature also shows that with a grade 3 injury that you typically have to rest this, and you really want to make sure you're healthy before you can get back playing.
Yep.
Wow, and that is unfortunate because, as you guys said, it is playoff time, so time is something that these guys just don't have. When we come back, we will check in with Jeffrey for our picks. It's the lightning round. Stick with us.
If you've been seriously injured in an accident, don't get blindsided by the insurance company. I'm Roger Orlando, and I built a winning team to run interference against the insurance companies and get your case across the goal line. Call me at 678-LAW-FIRM.
Hurry, it's the final days of the Ford year-end sales event. It's your last chance of the year to get our best offer of the year. 0% financing for 72 months, plus up to $2,000 final days bonus cash on select 2017 vehicles. So hurry and save big on America's best-selling brand. It's the final days of the Ford year-end sales event with 0 for 72 plus up to $2,000 final days bonus cash on select 2017 vehicles. See your Ford dealer before January 2nd and save.
Look what God has done. Thank you. Because of your support, we've grown to locations all over Atlanta. This is the time of year where we all take time to give thanks and to celebrate with family and friends. May God richly bless you and your family is our prayer. Thank you and happy holidays! See you soon!
In football, as in the legal system, it helps to know your opponent. I'm Roger Orlando, and I used to work for the insurance companies. I've seen their playbook, and I know their game plan. If you've been hurt in an auto accident, call me at 678-LAW-FIRM.
Today's lightning round is brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, now featuring great American steak dinner. Longhorn Steakhouse, you can't fake steak.
Welcome back. It's time for our Longhorn lightning round. Jeffrey, hit us with those picks.
Fiesta Bowl, Washington, Penn State, good matchup, but I like Washington with the 2 points. Peach Bowls, Auburn's back in Atlanta. They're back in the Dome. I think they were a week earlier than they wanted to be there. They better watch out. I like UCF with the points, and I think LSU's got too much speed for Notre Dame. Give the 3 with the Tigers. I think Washington would like to end the season with a win. I think the Giants would like to end the season. So give the 3 with Washington. Buffalo, Miami, these are 2 very strange teams. I think Miami keeps Buffalo out of the playoffs, take the 2.5. The hottest team in football, the 49ers. Yeah. And look out for them next year. This game started out, 49ers were 4-point dog, they're a 3-point favorite because the Rams aren't going to be playing anybody, and the 49ers are going to kill them. Give the 3.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in this week to football's Play to Win. I hope you all keep those New Year's resolutions. We will see you next year. Oh, have a good one.
Happy New Year.
Today's show has been brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, Nissan, and the Orlando Law Firm.